Drive in with the two Johnnies. 2FM.
Welcome back. It's Smacks and Africa. We're driving it on 2FM. Now, going on a fitness journey always seems to sound amazing and so doable in your head. Lord knows I've tried. But taking the first step, lads, finding a program that suits you and sticking with it is a different thing altogether. We are joined by Adam and Lee Molloy. They have 5 rules that they use that can help people who are struggling, and they're joining us now in the studio. Lads, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going,
Cheers,
mate?
Johnny.
Thank you.
Hey, lads, I'm going to start with Adam, if you don't mind. Adam, like, fitness was your game, I guess, for a long time. So you're coming into this a lot of knowledge, a lot of expertise.
Yeah, I'm a bit mature in the fitness space now.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it has its pros and cons. But I got started initially in fitness at about 13 years of age. I would have played football or, I suppose, soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer for you boys.
Yes, soccer for us cultures.
For you culture. And got started initially playing that. And as I was growing up, I was okay, but I was always getting pushed off the ball quite easily. You know, I wanted to be fitter, faster, stronger. So that got me initially started into the gym, and that was the beginning, and I kind of never stopped from there.
So you were kind of like, you know, working away in the fitness space, and then Lee, not so much for you.
No, you see, my biggest issue, and I think you might relate to this.
Yeah.
I had somebody who looked exactly like me, but I was about 20 kilos heavier.
Okay. Yeah.
So every morning I had to look at what I should look like. Eventually I got the message.
Yeah. And like, what was the moment then, if you're saying, so you, like, you're looking at your brother who looks identical to you, almost, and he's
from the neck up.
And he's ripped to death. And what was the moment that you said, right, I'm going to do something about this now?
It's a good question. I'd say it was a culmination of many things. The biggest one being the end of a relationship, and then you know yourself, you try to get back out onto the market and
revenge bod lad.
Exactly. And the women weren't too interested in me with the extra few kilos and the love handle, so I had to figure something else out.
And then you reached out to Adam for help?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's always kind of been there in the background. You know, he'd be kind of, if I had me tour chocolate bar today, he'd be quick to ask me, how many is that you have to have in now? So, like, he was always there in the background, and then once I sort of showed some level of interest in trying to make a good change, he was there from the start.
Do you remember your first, like, hard training session with him?
Oh, jeez, I've never had an easy one with him, to be honest with you.
They've all been as hard as the other one.
They don't get any easier. I remember see, when I started on this like little fitness journey in the past 18 months or so, Adam was living in London at the time.
Okay.
So we were communicating obviously via WhatsApp, and then I was in the gym by myself. And I just remember stepping back into the gym for the first time in months, and it was like, it felt like everybody was looking at you, you know that way? And I was like, Jesus Christ, I stand out like a sore thumb. I'm going to jump on the treadmill next to the L ones, and then I'll bounce after half an hour.
Yeah. Because a lot of lads have that, like, in that, you know, if they're not regulars in the gym, or maybe they haven't been there in a while, and you do have that feeling of, they'll all be looking at me, they'll all be laughing at me.
Self-conscious, like.
Yeah, you would be. And I think fellas never say it either, like, you know.
No.
I know I would be anyway. If I was strolling in there, like, they're all looking at me. realistically, no one cares in there. Everyone is in there working to improve themselves, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're making a noise or you're in someone's way, they're not paying attention to you.
I wouldn't be roaring, there are no more ways. So tell us then, like, Adam, it must be rewarding for you to see your brother doing so well now on his fitness journey.
100%. It's inspirational for me to even see what he's done, because he's very honest himself about his relationship with fitness and how that's evolved over the last couple of years. But to see him finally get stuck into a point where you could tell, right, this is it, he's going to stick to it. And it wasn't easy. He'll tell you himself, there's ups and downs, there's bumps along the road. But the fact he was able to keep going through all them and have the high weeks, the low weeks, the weeks where you do everything right and nothing changes, or the weeks when you do everything wrong and the scale still goes down, like, it's a bit of a mind maze sometimes trying to get through a weight loss journey. And the fact he got out to the other end of it and then managed to maintain that and still has healthy habits today, still works out, and now he coaches his own clients who are going through a similar transformation. It's great to see that kind of come full circle. So I'm proud of him.
That's it. So tell us about Molloy Fitness then. That's the two of you, you're in it together now, you're driving it on. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so we kicked off Molloy Twins Fitness initially because obviously we all have fitness in common. We were twins, we wanted to get into kind of business together in that sense, so we thought fitness would be a great roadmap, a kind of entry point for us to get started initially. And as we start going through that, it was going well. We had some clients, etc. But we kind of just had this inner desire, I suppose, to go beyond just fitness, because we felt like speaking about the gym and nutrition gets a bit boring after Royal number one.
Yeah.
Scrolling through Instagram, that's all you tend to see nowadays. So we wanted a way to, number one, differentiate ourselves, but also to kind of speak to a deeper message and stuff that we think maybe doesn't get spoken to enough, or at least in a way that's consumable for people to actually go and make these sort of transformations, not just in the gym, but outside the gym and life in general.
Yeah, and now one of your goals was to write a book, and you've only went and done it.
We have.
So congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure it wasn't easy, but the interesting thing for me is the 5 rules that you lads swear by, because everybody's kind of got their own routine. I guess everyone's got their own thoughts on fitness. Can you talk us through your 5 rules and just explain it to us?
Yeah, absolutely. So it kicked off. We were on holidays in Puerto Rico, and we were having a couple of beers around the pool and doing all the unfitnessy stuff that we do off the camera.
Yeah, you have to do that as well.
And we were speaking about writing a book. We said it's something we'd love to do. We're big readers. We get a lot of value from it. So we wanted to put something together that would live on, I suppose, and carry our message beyond us. And we spoke about putting a book together. We wanted something that we felt would connect with where people are at any stage of their journey, and something that they could easily just go, get stuck into, get what they need, and get out and put it into action, because that's ultimately what's going to help. You can read as many books as you want, but if you're not putting the stuff into actual action, you're not going to get any of the result from it. So we kicked that off, had some conversations, lead on a lot of the donkey work in terms of writing some of the initial drafts, putting some things together. That's what donkeys are for, eh? There's donkeys and thoroughbreds. Know your place. And we basically sat down, we said, look, what would, if we had to put some rules on it, what do you think they would be? Because we didn't want to be so strict in terms of making this super prescriptive, like go and eat chicken broccoli for breakfast, lunch. We didn't want that. We wanted more frameworks that people could refer back to. So no matter what situation you're in, whether it's going well or not so well, you can come back to this, have a look and see what your next step needs to be. And so we kind of broke it down from that way, and from there came up with these 5 rules, which I'll let Lee rattle off what the rules are and kind of give a bit of background to them. But we wanted something that was tangible for people to take, come into the book, get it and go, and use that on your journey and carry it with you, as opposed to read a book, say, oh, that sounds deadly, and then put the book down and never do anything with it.
Yeah. Because I guess, like, people kind of go on these mad fads. I know, look, myself, right, I'll be like, yeah, chicken broccoli bang for 6 weeks. Yep. I'll lose a load of weight. I'll feel great for a week or two. I'll go on my holidays, and then afterwards, then I'm back to square one all over again. How can people stay hitting these goals and, like, you know, change their lifestyle rather than just let it be a fad for 6 weeks?
Adam's worked in the gym for years. He stepped away from it recently, and I started working in the gym 6 months ago, so now. And I mean, the number one thing you see with clients is they're great for the first 3 or 4 weeks, and then once there's a small bump in the road, the membership gets cancelled and you don't see them again.
Gets left on.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I feel like the process of weight loss or whatever, like, in theory it makes sense and it's straightforward enough. The hard part is having the discipline to do it on a cold Tuesday morning before work, or, you know, when the kids are sick, and finding that consistency. And it really is a case-by-case basis, which is why, again, with this book, we wanted more of a framework approach than a do this, do that, because it wouldn't apply to my life the same way it might apply to someone else's. But just from, like, my own experience going through my own fitness journey, and that's kind of where the book came from initially, was like just kind of connect the dots looking backwards and be like, I tried to lose weight loads of times. Like, I wasn't just fat one morning, you know what I mean? I was fat for a long time before, and I tried to not be fat a lot of times before I finally got there. So I was kind of just connecting the dots by looking backwards and saying, like, what worked or what was there this time that wasn't there before? And that's just to list off the 5 rules quickly. The first one is vision. Like, it all starts with this, like, by Christmas morning, I want to put on a medium-sized t-shirt and not an extra large to hide my belly when I get in pictures. You know that way?
Yeah.
The second one then is commitment, which is recognising, look, whatever this process is, it's going to be far more difficult than I'm already imagining it to be. Those bumps in the road and obstacles are going to be there, and I just need to have the resilience to overcome them. Number 3 then is...
Choose your battles.
Sorry?
Choose your battles.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Had something shut. Pick your battles. Because look, we live in a noisy world. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world. There's a lot of distractions on social media and everywhere else, and it's very easy to waste time fighting the wrong battles only to end up getting nowhere. The fourth one then is environment. So just looking, and that can be people, but it can also be things. Like, I know for me, if I had a 4-pack of Whispers in the fridge, I'm eating 4 Whispers. You know what I mean? Whereas if there's no Whispers in the fridge, I'll have an apple. So
Yeah.
part of that, it was recognising, right, all this stuff I'm bringing into the house, I'm going to eat it. So if I'm serious about this, I'm going to stop buying it. And then number 5 is focusing on the process and not just the outcomes, because obviously everybody wants something. Like, we all have goals and targets that we want to achieve, and that's the outcome. That's what we're striving for. But the process is life and everything that happens till we get to that point. And if you're not enjoying that process, chances are by the time you get there, you won't enjoy the outcome.
Dead on. Lads, you speak with such enthusiasm. You're going to be getting a DM off me now if you're looking for a guinea pig.
Do you have Revolut now?
Yeah, I'll step up to the plate. Adam and Lee Molloy, thanks very much for coming in. Lads, the boys' book, Better Than Before, is on Amazon, and you can find the lads on Instagram at Molloy Twins Fitness as well. It's definitely worth to check out. Adam and Lee, thanks for coming in and joining us.
Thanks a million, mate.
Cheers, boys.